The stream starts up 30 FPS. The mic is checking so that I'll say yes. The light is green. I think it's good to go. My buttons are working, so we're ready to show. Countdown's done and it's ready to start. I got my pen to make some R's. Juice is there, mouse within reach. I always forget something. Like when you go to the beach. All right. Shit, until that. Ow, doesn't matter. Do 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 do. Emergency.
Tell your friends, and tell your hot mom. There's no such thing as grownups.com.
And forgot to do that with the buttons to make sure everything's working and in sync. Space Goonie. And also there's Pat saying hi to everyone in chat. Once again, big old jug of homemade juice is how we get through the day and the stream. So good. So good. Space Goody in for the sub. Sound didn't play, but that's okay. Don't know why. Don't even care. Should have been the sound right there. But it'll come back. It always comes back eventually. Just on that thing though, right? You can hear me? This has sound? What about this? Can you hear me? Am I making sound? I feel like I'm making sounds. I think that there's a resonance inside of my skull, especially if I do this. I can like hear it and I can feel it with my whole face. So is that a sound? I think that's a sound. Shh. So yeah, sometimes alerts don't play sounds. It's neither here nor there. Neither hither nor dither. Anyway, my name is Curtis. Of course, this is Milo, and there is no such thing as grown-ups, is what we're always proving with the podcast and with this thing, because it doesn't matter how old these people get. And when I say these people, all the people, and the older that they get, they being me, I can notice that, oh, hey, cool, yeah, you guys were all making this up. This was all made up, and the points did not matter. I see. Everyone's 15 for life, basically. Cool. I guess I didn't want to know that when I was like 12, 15 years old. Hey, when you get older, yeah, guess what? Everyone's the way you are right now. They just know a little more stuff. In some cases, they don't. They just have more responsibility. And then I would have been pre-Spider-Man-y to know, like, oh, like Spider-Man? It's not a thing yet, idiot. You're back in time. But in the present, 15-year-old Curtis's future, great power, great responsibility, etc. But of course, the biggest example of how there's no such thing as grown-ups is still when turds are hitting fans, you can really see what's up. You can see what's up. It's real easy. I haven't thought of a thing to do on the comic strip yet today. But I will start drawing something. I'm thinking that maybe we'll just do like one of those one panel things. But a lot of times in the past, a long time ago in a galaxy somewhere not too far away, I used to always just start drawing something and then I'll be like, I'll see what they're doing first, and then I'll add the words, or then I'll just look at it and be like, oh, this is what it's about, and then I'll figure it out from there. So I might try one of those and just draw a picture of me and Milo and see what happens. I did. Let's go to the other camera. Will this work? Click. Yeah. So this was the Easter comic that I didn't draw. Because, what'd you do for Easter? Stayed in bed. Got up, did the dishes, cleaned up a bit, went back to bed. Got up. Hey, Mom. Happy Easter. I'm going to get a shower and eat a chocolate bunny. There's no hot water? I'm just going to eat a chocolate bunny and go back to bed. Easter! But I was going to, then I'm like, ugh, I'll finish it and put it in the book. But as far as this Easter, it's too late. Who cares now? But basically, there was going to be some creep sitting on the couch with Milo, and I come in, and I'm like, why is there a murderer on the couch? And Milo was all like, you know how Jesus gets to come to, you know how Jesus gets to walk to Earth for 3 days at Easter? And then he's like, ta-da, pointing at this, I'm assuming a scary looking guy. And then I'm just like, that's not how Easter works. And then scary guy's like, I brought eggs. And Milo's like, classic Jesus over here. So that should be cool. I was going to do laundry on Easter. I did clean out the bucket that I was going to do my laundry in. Oh, it's not a bucket. It's not a bucket, you guys. Don't even listen to it. It's totally not a bucket. It's a bin. It's a full-blown Rubbermaid bin that anyone would be honored to do their laundry in. To be honest, to be super honest over here. Thanks for your honesty. Yeah. I cleaned out a bin of old art stuff and was like, on the off chance that I'm about to just wash a pile of pencil lead into my clothes, I'll have to wash this out first. And then I was just like, I still got plenty of clothes. Maybe I can go to the laundromat in 2 days from now and the pandemic will be over. And the pandemic will be over. Oops. Is that why you finished making a mask? Is that why you have your own mask now that's sitting by the door, ready to go in case you do need to go outside or feel like going for a walk? You just put a mask on, like a normal person does, in, the present day, just walking around with a mask on, because it's like, I don't know, Skyman in the world of tomorrow or something. It's like, anyway, post-apocalyptic futures and whatnot. Post-apocalyptic and whatnot. I wash my laundry in a bin. A bunch of Ralph Wiggums is out here. Let me crank this down a little bit. There. So, hey, wearing a I'm a Sexy Dinosaur shirt. This one actually you can't get. This is the one that was taken out of the store. So I've got it. I had some that I sold at the market. But yeah. Society6.com was like, hey, that's the Jurassic Park logo. You can't sell that. And I'll be like, but everybody else is You're different from everybody else. You don't get to break the rules, come up with something original. So fine. Here's a bunch of Jeff Goldblum heads. But the store, as far as I know, is still open. It seems everybody with a stream and a TV show is selling t-shirts left, right, and center. So I don't know. I'm still afraid to go to the post office, so I'm not going to finish my book because I'm not going to send it to people. But yeah, super rare. There's only a handful of these ones. Only a handful. So anyway, as I always do, segued myself into oblivion. I was about to rail on the fact that if you find yourself out there trying to burn down a metal pole, you might be not a grown-up. A lot of posts, a lot of weird posts. Instagram is starting to seep and become a little Facebooky, and I don't approve of that. But start to see things, or people are like, oh, I can't believe this thing. Like, I don't wanna watch this thing I can't believe. And then you see the people that are just like, hey, Hey, come on now. Come on. Coronavirus? I mean, really? Where was that like 3 months ago? Like it didn't exist and suddenly it does? I'm a little skeptical. I'm gonna go take my whole family to the park and interact with another whole family because I mean, really? Does this really seem like it's really happening? I mean, it's only the whole world and thousands dead. Like, hundreds of like I mean, it's does this really like don't don't make me throw my phone through a wall, random person on the internet. Don't make me throw my phone through the wall. That's crazy. But anyway, the subsection of that, the disbelieving world, is the overly believing world. That's all like, hey, no, have you heard about 5G? Like, yeah, I have heard some ads. People are putting money into Spotify ads to let me know that, by the way, 5G is straight up gonna kill us all. 5G towers are gonna kill us all. Like, okay, I don't not believe you. I already believe that the 4G towers. I believe that all the towers are just like it's just humming through us nonstop, and we're all gonna have to be uploaded into the retrosphere in order to continue on living because we're too permeated with tachyon pulses. But the fact that people are like, no, like we have to go out and fight against the coronavirus, and you know how we're gonna do it? We're gonna burn down some cell phone towers, and I mean, I'm sure some people are shooting at them, some people are doing lots of stuff, but I just saw one that was just like, did somebody try to set a metal pole on fire? Cause guess what, dog? Guess what? I'm here with all the advice in the world right now. If you find yourself trying to set a metal pole on fire for what you think are exceptional reasons, you're trying to save the world, right? A lot of decision making happen. A lot of decision making. A lot of decision making had to happen in order for you to get yourself to that pole with, I don't know, maybe some gas and some matches. And if you're trying to burn a metal pole down, maybe, just maybe, definitely actually, but maybe all of the decisions and information that you accrued to get yourself to that pole setting on fire situation are probably wrong. Maybe you're not good at understanding information. Maybe you're not good at making decisions that, are valuable. I don't know, man. What's Space Goonie saying? People suck and so many crappy conspiracies floating around on top of it all. LOL does not compute. We had 5 grams of G in our house for almost half a decade. Yes, we totally have coronavirus. Not that is Pat. And this is real. Oh, man. What if everything we said was a musical? That would be so irritating all the time. But if everything... No, I won't do that. Not today. Someday, yeah, if I do a musical whole episode, then it'll all be a musical. But I don't know, maybe I should take some singing lessons first. The hell? Is that Milo in an Easter basket? How in the sweet hell did you put me in an Easter basket, Patrick? Patrick? Answer me. Just answer me honestly and truthfully for once in your effing life. Why am I in an Easter basket? It's Tuesday. For one thing, it's Tuesday. That Jizo is back in behind this rock. And I didn't put myself in that basket. Did you put me in that basket? I didn't put anybody in that basket. Everyone's in a freaking basket. Everyone's all filled with eggs. Setting their towers on fire with gasoline, trying to quell their quarantined rage. Quarantined rage, quarantined rage, building up in their decadent cage. They got their pizza pops and everything on demand. Just can't go out and get French fries on hand. Oh man. Man, oh man. It's Easter time, kids. Get your hard-boiled eggs. Maybe it is a musical episode. I don't know. I spent Easter in bed. Your brain snaps after a while. After a little while, your brain snaps. I definitely had a bunch of things where I'm like, all right, let's talk about that, right? That's a thing to talk about that's not coronavirus or COVID-19. It's even got 2 names. It's got 2 names. It's all over the road. And once again, this is probably not going to end up being what I draw. Just start doodling. I look somewhat worried about something. Oops. I did make a mask. It's in the other room. I guess I could have showed and told, but I did not. As Mike Doughty said, I snossed and I lost. But yeah, it's just like, it's an old t-shirt. It's actually a brand new t-shirt that I'm like, huh, this doesn't fit the way I thought it was going to fit. I'll wear it underneath something else. And then I'm like, huh, you know what? You're going to be a mask. And then in my car, I had a handful of some other shirts that were going to go into the donation bins around where you donate your clothes. So I went out to the car because that's been there for, I don't know, 5 months. And I brought them back in and I chopped them all up. The first one was an Atari shirt, so it was going to have a big Atari logo. And I'm not good at stuff. Like, the reason I don't try things for the first time on the stream all the time, because I'm really not good at stuff, and I don't want to cry on live stream. I mean, I thought good and hard about the fact that it's like, hey, maybe I'll just do a cry stream, where it is just like, I'll still do my best to tell some funny stories. Sometimes I'm extra hilarious while I'm crying. I'd have to direct you to specific people to corroborate that, but yeah, things are hard. So I have this little handheld sewing machine. It's like $20 at Walmart, and I did a few things with it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's kind of the worst thing in the world. And even though I've only made the one thing, and I'm not going to make another one probably, really wanted a real sewing machine. So in the end, the Atari mask just got destroyed. It's just like, sometimes it sews, sometimes it doesn't sew. Like, what are you doing? It doesn't have a reverse on it, so you gotta like kind of manhandle it to get it to tie off at the ends. So after way too long, I was like, well, the Atari logo part of this is destroyed. I don't want to walk around with just like a straight up black mask, because it was like my black Atari shirt with the red logo. So I was like, that's fine, but just like going to the grocery store in a black mask is seems a little bit criminally. Even like this one's like bright orange or like regular orange, probably Milo orange, and it doesn't seem too intimidating, I don't think. Of course, I mean, with me with my glasses on and every time I breathe, it's just fogging up. That alone, I'm just like, this is insane. So I did. Well, I made it. I went out for a walk. Just like, what are we doing? What are we all doing out here? And I don't even think you're supposed to even go for walks anymore now. But this was a few days ago. Right before I made the mask, I went and got groceries because I was running out of stuff. And the holidays were coming. And I don't know. I didn't want to deal with the holidays. I don't understand what I'm, I don't know. But it was kind of the best day. Like, you don't realize, as somebody who spends so much of my time, oh, don't you even think about it, iTunes.
Android, or visit our website.
I saw you. No, stop rebuffering.
Stitcher.com/premium to
Fun
sign up.
sakes.
Your membership includes access to this show's full archive with no...
Stop. That's an ad for the podcast Freedom. Freedom. If I touch this headphone, it keeps it turns on iTunes all the time. All right, I'll tell you about it's become a project now more than just a dumb idea, which is still a dumb idea. But yeah, I went over to the grocery store, and again, you don't realize, as somebody who is just I spend half the morning just being like, is this my fault? This might be my fault. Honestly, it's probably your fault. I can't even imagine how you're going to say it's your fault, but now that you bring it up, it probably is all your fault. I mean, I don't want to be one to throw stones, but I like a good stone throwing. Give me a stone and let me throw it at you. Shh, slow down. But just doing the weird Macaulay Culkin math on the thing. And I mean, once you start doing, again, when you get your ideas from a movie, it's probably a safe bet that, your thesis, whatever, the end justification that you come out with after a thought like that is probably just no, it's dumb, and move on with your life. Don't set a cell phone tower on fire. Don't attack me at the grocery store. But yeah, just the weird Home Alone thought of just I am the worst for just being if I could just be alone for a little while and do some work. Everybody, just leave me alone. And then all of a sudden it's hey, what's going on? It's 28 days later out here. Hello? 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 YouTube? Yeah. Careful what you wish for. Everyone stay in. You're all locked down. Now, the only thing, aside from just pure absolute logic, I don't have Macaulay Culkin wishing powers. I'm not a little Kevin. I want my pen. There we go. Is watching some news today. Maybe it was yesterday. Probably today. And it was not news. It was Stephen Colbert. Close enough. So Stephen Colbert was showing the United States' health guy, and he's yeah, no, we definitely should have acted way sooner on this. We are the worst at this. I did my best to say, hey guys, here's what we got to do. Let's do this. And a lot of times, money talks, and health isn't money, so economy, etc. And and then at a certain point, I can't remember what it was, but it was blah, 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 blah. Anyway, there was a time when I mentioned to, let's call him a president. I don't want to drop any names here. Could be anybody. He could be talking to anybody. So he's talking to this guy in charge of something. Can't remember what it was. And he was we really, this is going to be terrible. We got to do something quick and efficiently. And this boss guy of something, maybe some corporation, can't remember. He was yeah, no, what if we just, let's just let it blow through. Let's just let it blow over instead. And the doctor guy was a lot of people are going to die. Which I'm pretty sure is a movie quote from something. And he was yeah. So, no such thing as grown-ups. There's just no such thing as oh, snaps. So you watch something like that, and then you're just oh, cool, yeah, I don't know, man. Whether it is my fault or not, that I used my extensive matrixy powers to have everyone locked down. But that guy was no help whatsoever. And he terrifies me. Oh my god. I mean, when I was a kid, I spent a good chunk of time just being why couldn't we be in the States where TV is on? All the TV is right over there. Why can't we just watch all the TV? And she's like, well, you can't. Finish your Degrassi, and then you can have some 5 o'clock news. Like, I don't want either of those things. I don't want either of those things. Do you even know what they have over there? Like, and now I'm just like, let's all just stream stuff. Olive TV looks worse than this now. It's all like, hey, let's all just be in boxes, awkwardly sitting over our laptops as if we're not movie actors and we don't know anything about framing. Well, I didn't know. Infuriating to see famous TV and movie people that have no concept of how weird they look. You have experience, but experience doesn't actually mean skill. Yeah, my head's big, but it's not that big. Calm down, everybody. There we go. That's reasonable. Oh, I have a feeling this comic is going to get real offensive and really too soon, too fast, too furious. Let's go back to the drawing camera. As if I care about people for some reason. I'm going to show them what I'm drawing over here. So, when you're sitting around thinking, waxing poetically on, never mind, we haven't gotten there yet. I didn't finish the grocery store thing yet. Too much TV rage. Went to the grocery store, and it was the greatest. I mean, it was terrifying from beginning to end. It was before I finished my mask, so I just a scarf over my face, 2 sets of gloves, and maybe a pocket full of wet wipes. Were they already open and out, ready to wipe stuff? Yeah. And was that the day? I think I also backpack on. Yes, I did. Backpack on, and in my little drink holder area, pocket full of Hawthorns. That's right. I've got a pocket full of Hawthorns. Wet wipes. And finished watching all of Community. Wonderful. I think there might have been one episode that I never saw. 2 episodes, I think, that I do not remember ever seeing. Extra treat. But yeah, so loaded my backpack with like ton of reusable cloth grocery bags, and really bad lightning. Oh, keeping you from watching stuff. And yeah, so the grocery store is just weird. It's just weird. Like, one, I mean, most people already know by now there's the arrows going everywhere. But, again, in the always going back to, like, everyone's making up their own rules and nobody really cares. Like, you're going through the aisles, and I'm just losing my mind. But what made it the greatest day, aside from, hey, look, there's some people within the vicinity. Both the most terrifying thing in the world and, good to see people. Looking healthy. This isn't bad. But right before I got to the grocery store, I pull in, and in my Honda Fit, and there's a Honda Fit backing out of a space, and I'm like, well, I know my Honda Fit's going to fit in there, because that's a Honda Fit right there. And also, did you get to the Honda Fit episode? I think it might be season 6. I vaguely remember that episode, but awesome. Just having them do a little ad for my car back when it existed. But also I'm thinking, hey, like, is that Nelly? Am I gonna kind of see my friend pull out of a parking spot? Because I think it might be her. And then she backs out and just like, she's wearing a mask, but I recognize her hair and the rest of her face, so I'm like, hi, I'm a person. And she didn't notice, and then she starts to turn, because she's looking to turn like a normal person and not looking for some idiot in an adjacent Honda Fit to wave at. But I've got to wait for her to pull around regardless, so I'm just still stuck there and just waiting. And if there's any chance I'm peripheral or looking, it's just like, wave at me. We're real people that know each other. And then she was like, hey, there you are, human. And she was like, hey, like, do you want a mask? Like, rolled down her window a little bit, like, do you want a mask? And I'm like, I'm gonna go make one as soon as I finish getting groceries, but wanted to get here before the grocery store closed. Like, all right, cool. See you someday. And away she goes. And I'm like, Honda Fit. So go up to the grocery store, and then I'm like, as I'm going up, I'm throwing on my gloves, wrapping my head in my scarf. And again, feeling insane, where it's just like, if this was any other time of year, and I walked up, I mean, other than winter, I guess, but if I walked up in these weather conditions, wrapping myself up the way that I am, with a very puffy, full backpack full of God knows what, somebody would stop me. Somebody would stop me, Jim Carrey. And they did. So I'm trying to figure out how to get it. Like, how do I get in here now? It's all like roped off so that, you know, only 5 or 6 people or whatever it is can get into the store at a time. And I'm like, all right, again, also fine with that. And but I'm like somewhat wrapped up. It's not that cold out. And I can just like, I swear to God, the wind or whatever that noise is, it sounds like somebody's yelling my name. But I already saw Nelly drive away, and who else will be yelling my name? Like, if I would guess, without turning, I would expect to see Peter, my old animation teacher who lives literally like 3 buildings away. Like, if I went outside right now and screamed, Peter! Well, he probably won't come running, but he'll probably message me and be like, are you screaming my name from a few buildings away? And I'd be like, yeah, this has just been a test of my emergency system until I put lights back in my emergency phone. And it was, and I'm just like, but it was like, I didn't see anybody, so like there's a minivan and a door open a crack, like across the driving space, the lanes. And just like in the darkness, like he's got this giant mane of hair, and it's just like this like lion person kind of peeking out like an episode of Cats, and just like Curtis, and it was like, oh hey, and it was just like, and like, I mean, he's got the biggest smile in the world. Like, he's just like, you know, you don't meet Peter without just being like, I'm happy now. I was so angry about so many things, but now I'm just like, what just happened? Like, he just has to be in your presence. He's a magical little elf that encourages you to be creative and artsy. But yeah, I was like, oh, it was my name. And he's like, hey, like, I can recognize you, even all wrapped up or whatever. Recognize you anywhere. Like, I'm not that wrapped up. And like, yeah, I guess I am fairly wrapped up. I think I have my hat on as well. But like, that was the whole conversation. Like, I recognize you. Like, hey, wash your hands. Like, yeah, stay safe. Like, yeah, safety. Hey, safety, safe. And then walk up to the doors. Then I just kind of stand there like, do I need to answer a riddle? I'll try to answer a riddle. Is somebody going to come get me? Do I try to go in and then they just tell me not to come in? Or do I wait and somebody waves me in? It's a grocery store, and I don't know how it works. I don't know how to work the grocery store today. And lady in a security outfit opens the door, and she was like, oh, you can come in. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then people are just kind of crossing paths. Like, there's like 4 people, but I'm just like tempted to be like, hey, don't make me be the security guard here right now. Like, either you tell these people 6 feet, or hey people, I'm gonna start screaming 6 feet in your face, or slash, is this card okay? Like, yep, these have been cleaned. Like, okay, cool. Didn't even realize that was a thing. I'm wearing 2 pairs of gloves. So grab a cart, go in the store, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't even know now. Suddenly, everything seems crazy, and I feel like I don't need anything, and I need everything. that's when I realized, oh, that meticulous list that I put together so this wouldn't be a mess, that's, it's in the living room. Not going back for it. Can't just be meandering around a grocery store all day. Just gotta get the things and get out. Get the things and get out. Things out. Get things out. Go. And then I'm just like, all right. Get like 4 feet in. And then there's a lady like 6 feet away picking out produce. So I'm like, I'll wait. I'll wait as long as it takes. I'll wait forever. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I'm not at all frustrated about waiting behind people or whatever. I'm just like, what? Just gives you a lot of time to just be like, what's happening in your head? Just screaming what's happening in your head. Not reminiscing about that TV show, What's Happening. I don't think I've ever seen it. Don't know what it's about. But it was definitely not about this. So, go a little bit, but then eventually I'm like, me and this old lady, we're fine. Was she an old lady? I don't know. But she was a lady, maybe even my age. I have no idea. Pretty sure she was an old lady. So she's like a little bit ahead of me. I'm like, I'm fine with this. If this takes us both 10 hours to get out of here, I don't even care. Like, whatever gets us through this safely, and you're not giving me dirty looks for not passing around you or not getting up on top of you and grabbing at the produce the same time as you. So this is fine. And then, I don't know, 2 minutes later, just like, oh, there's another lady that's clearly frustrated that she's got to wait. And I'm just still hanging back like, yep, when these guys are done, then I'll move. And she was like, not me. And then away she went. And finally, another lady, she was like, oh, I'm just going to back up. Like, you go ahead. You clearly got all the things you need in this area. You're just waiting to get through these aisles. Like, yep, I'm going to go. Game board rules apply. I'm going to go through every single one of these aisles by the arrows, whether it's where I want to go or not, unless a snake or a ladder guides me somewhere better. And I've been to the grocery store before. Pretty sure they haven't installed snakes or ladders. And if they had, I'm not taking them. No deal on snakes and ladders. Yeah, they weren't very speed boosty. I've seen some pictures of some nice speed boost arrows, and I'd be like, yeah, those would be speed boosts. But ours were just like, just plain red arrows. Excuse me. They almost felt like slow down arrows, if anything. But, so anyway, that was the great part. Seeing people I know, awesome. And then it gets real. Then it gets super real. Because, I mean, well, one, I'm going to say every second aisle I went through, just for no reason, for all of the reasons that there are, just like, oh, am I crying right now? Huh, this is crazy. I should have wore headphones and listened to music. I think my brain is going to crack before I get out of here. Oh my God, like, I just single tearing every once in a while, just like, yep, just overwhelmed by this whole terrifying situation. Just trying to get some crackers and some toothpaste. Why are crackers and toothpaste so terrifying these days? Remember crackers and toothpaste? I remember crackers and toothpaste used to be kind of not a big deal. I do recall that. It's not like I have to, really think too hard about anything. Could I tell you a story about the time that I ventured far and near and wide in emptiness and darkness to find... Shut up! Oh God, he's the worst. But yeah, so anyway, most people were all following the arrows, everything feels okay, and the odd time somebody will be like, oh, I'm going the wrong way, and you realize it, so you turn around, and everything's normal. But at a certain point, I want to say it was in like the one half is fridge section, the other half is whatever's on the other side of the fridge section, obviously stuff I don't eat. This is why I always hide Milo's legs. I just don't know what kind of legs he should have, really. Little piggy legs? A little piggy? So, in this aisle, I'm just going, terrified. But, you know, there's like me. I think there may be somebody like 12 feet behind me and somebody else another like 12 feet ahead. But then there's this dude. And I'm just like pushing my cart, feeling my brain just melt out my ear. Because he is the guy who, like, has this goofy, like, what's the deal with everybody today? Like, everyone's acting strange today, kind of look on his face. He's filthy. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with anything, really. But clearly, you just came from work. And your work involves getting dirty. Like, yep, that's a thing, no big deal. But, in my eyes, a couple different sets of math start going off. The main one being, you can't just do things on the way to do other things now. You're doing the groceries, and then you're going home, you're disinfecting, wiping everything down. You disinfect yourself and wipe yourself down before you get to the groceries. Everything is just a big disinfection process. And instead, this is just like, no, I'll just stop and get some groceries. Here I go. I'll just grab this thing. And even more so, because he's going the wrong way and there's arrows, just like, I'm not even furious. I'm baffled and confused. But I'm also a little bit scared. A little bit scared because he's looking at me. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking at people. People gotta look at people. We got these eyes that drive the people. But maybe, I think I did have my headphones in. I think I had some music in at least one side of my head. So I'm pushing my little cart, and he's coming down. And at first, I am looking at whatever's on the other side of the fridge aisle. And I realized, like, you know, that wasn't just a, hey, I'm just going to glance over, see who's coming my way. Like, he's still staring at me. He's still staring at me. And I look over, and he's still staring at me. And I look away, like, uh-huh. This is a filthy man staring at me. And then I'm like, well, I feel kind of rude. I feel a little bit rude right now. Maybe, I should be a good person. And I will look back to the creepy man, and I will, good day today, sir, or whatever. Like, I'll give him a head nod, even though I feel like we're kind of not even doing that anymore. So I look back, and I'm just like, how's it going? Actually, no, you know what I did? I looked back and gave, like, a polite head nod, and he said, like, hey, how's it going, or something like that. And that's when I realized, hey, you really have to notice whether or not you're holding your breath before you try to say something to someone. Because I completely forgot, like, once filthy guy entered my peripheral. Pretty good. Pretty good. And it wasn't until after the words, pretty good, came out of my mouth that I realized, I'm holding my breath right now. Why did I try to answer this person? Like, I'm legitimately trying to escape his presence and his air. And I forgot that I had already closed myself off from his existence. But it's funny, huh? It's like a funny thing that happened. Yeah. You think everything I do is funny, though. That's why you're the best. Look at you over there with your little iPad. Oh, that's adorable. Cut to Batman. Hey, Batman. How you doing? Can't hear you. I can't hear anything you're saying over there. Are you whispering? Just, I can see your chin moving, but I can't hear anything. Just, you know what? I'm not in the mood for you. So that's what we do now. We fill our hours and minutes with nonsense. Because the alternative is tears. The alternative is tears. I don't. Oh, and then the last Adventure Time fun at the grocery store was getting to the counter. I didn't even realize that the self-serve counters were still available. I thought they were like, no, we're just funneling you guys through here, keeping everything. This is a tight ship. This is where we're clean, and this is how everything goes. So I just got in line. It was like, yep, next one. Okay, I'm doing what I'm told to do, and here's what we do. And but then I got there, started loading everything up, and I'm like, oh, and it's just like I just forgot. It was like I realized what I'm about to say right now. I'm suddenly just like I feel like I'm admitting to something crazy right now, but I'm just like I got a backpack full of bags. Is that not a thing we do now? I mean, I feel like we were just on the cusp of getting rid of all of the bags, if not a lot of places like shut down the bags, but you definitely don't want to use or touch my cloth grocery bags, right? And I don't want you to touch my cloth grocery bags, and that's not a thing anymore. And I'm just like, and I mean, it was probably like 5 seconds, or 5 seconds is probably still too long, but yeah, just doing that of just this weird, like, I'm going to Chief Wiggum's, like, ramble off for like 40 minutes here if you don't stop me. What are we doing? And yeah, she's like, yeah, no, we don't do that anymore. Wash them in my bucket? No deal. Mandarin, you get in there and wash them bags in that bucket. Yeah, this comic is too offensive now. Or at least it's too soon. It's too current. I was just gonna have Milo just be like, have a. Just gonna put the little tentacle things on and have like a little Corona balloon. And have some Milo's like, hey, like, no, I'm just switching sides. I give up. I want to go with sides, so I'm gonna be Team Corona from now on. What I'm thinking is taking it let's just pivot. We're just gonna pivot to the left a little bit and clean it up so that in this case I'm gonna turn Milo into one of those 5G jerks. Excuse me. Let's put some text in there right now so I don't forget. He said while he's still trying to formulate text in his head, but he's busy talking in a weird accent for no reason. Not thinking at all about the things that he was about to type. Andy Dufresne. Eh. What, you still think COVID-19 is the thing? No, it's just a cute little critter. Don't worry about that. And come burn down come burn down cell phone towers with me. Yeah. Genius. Oh, man. What's wrong with all of us now? We ain't been out in our trucks. They're panned up for days and weeks and months while that we sit around and sing the Golden Girls theme. Oh, man. Meanwhile, at work, huh? There's still people there that I type to, occasionally have to talk to. Keep forgetting that I specifically put a thing to put my feet on down there so that I don't wedge my leg underneath myself for an hour and a half and not be able to walk anymore. So at my job over at the Streamlab, every Monday we have a secret meeting. Like most businesses that have their secret Monday meetings. And normally there's a good chunk of people from all over the world zooming in. That's a term everyone knows now. I don't have to feel crazy. Zooming in, and a bunch of people are on little screens. Usually we're just in audio form. Oddly enough, I always put myself in audio form, even though it's this backdrop here. And not even serious. There's been a few times where we've twitched it. It's been twitched live. The audio isn't there, so people are just typing like, "What's going on?" Like, we can't hear anything. Like, this is a specifically like business meeting that's not to be shared with anyone. But you know, we're also testing stuff, so let's just twitch out this meeting on the boss's Twitch account. But yeah, so we have our Monday meeting, and everybody, we have a slideshow, and that scrolls through with each department's stuff. And most people's are set up in a similar way. Here's what we did. Here's what we're gonna do. Here were the issues, or here were the successes. Maybe some graphs, maybe some visuals and whatnot. Usually a bunch of numbers and things that I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Somebody tell me to draw something. I don't know what this is. And whatever. So that's great. My team, our slide, our section, instead of being that, a scale of things, is just like, we just do show and tell. And at a certain point, we were like, well, what about this? What about that? The people who were saying do this and that, they don't work there anymore. So I'm just like, it's just show and tell, guys. It's just show and tell. I can't promise I'm going to do a project that I don't know exists yet. So let's just show them what we did, and if we know what's going on, I'll tell them that's coming up. And I'm the one who talks at the meeting, of course. So before the meeting, Corbin sets up the slides, and here's a secret. I don't look at the slides beforehand. Sometimes I do. Lately, I've been checking beforehand so I know what I'm about to talk about. But half the time, I'm like, it doesn't matter what's on there. I'm just going to be saying words for a few minutes, because what I say doesn't matter. It's just, hey, look what we did today. We're valid to the company. And people like seeing this stuff. Like, people like seeing all the content that we make for a bunch of these let's say fancy streamers, these high-end streamers, popular streamers, but whatever, these amazing people. And sometimes it's like VIPs and like celebrities, so like, oh, this is fun, and you know, people like that. Regardless, it gets to my section. I unmute myself first slide comes up. It's basically whatever I did last week is jammed into one screen. Alert animations, emotes, merch designs, all kinds of stuff. Some of it's animated, playing in a GIF, and some of it's just still. And I'm just like, hey, here's what I did last week. And I'll just mindlessly say something. And I'll be like, and if we flip to the next page, and then there's Clyde stuff, and I'm like, and here's what Clyde did last week. He's rocking out this 3D stuff. And then I'm like, and of course on the last page, Corbin did a million things, because Corbin somehow works in all the departments and he does a million things. So it's kind of like me and Clyde are one section, and Corbin is like his whole other team unto himself. I don't know, he's very young. Lots of energy. So now everybody is in their own separate home, own separate place. Lots of different views of different people's offices and how they work now and whatnot. Some people find it super interesting, whatever. So anyway, sometimes I'll just say something random and silly. Sometimes I'll actually have something to say and I'll say it. But usually it's just, this thing is crazy. This guy wanted these weird zombies, so I drew these weird zombies, and now I have nightmares about these weird zombies. And it's not true. But this Monday just passed. The slideshow began. My slide came up, and I was like, check it out. So-and-so wanted 70 million emoticons. So those are those. It was like 50, but still, just like, that's the most emoticons I've ever drawn in like 2 or 3 days ever in my life. And I spent the weekend also in bed because I'm just like, this thing can't draw anymore. This is done. I might as well just punch myself in my own wrist because I can't hold a pencil anymore. And whatever. So that was my hilarious thing for me. And it's like, I know that Clyde had done some cool 3D stuff. Don't know if it's out there yet, so I can't really say anything anymore. I don't know. But made some cool stuff for this famous guy. I know I'm about to say that. Up on the screen, it just says like click to reload or loading and click to reload or something on the screen. So the slideshow, the Google Doc crapped out on us for a second, and you know, because I'm a crazy person, instead of just sitting there going like load, I will wait until something loads onto the screen. And I will be silent, like a normal, business-like person. No! That is not how you play. That is not your jam at all. Oh my god, what did you do? Please somebody tell me what you did. I will. There's still a donk in my head whenever I use my buttons, but whatever. It's very off-putting. So that thing came up, and I was like, and of course, Clyde has been really working on this new client. They're all about the reload, get loaded, reload. Yeah, that's not playing. GameItAll.com. GameItAll.com. I know that. That's a Unix system. Jurassic Park. Damn it, why can't I remember your name? I know that Game It All is a consortium of a few people. And I can't remember your name. But anyway, if you follow Game It All, they no, it's floating around in my head there. I just see Game It All pops up all the time now, and they do video game pop culture reviews of things. They'll do a 4-way video podcast. Pino is one of them. Luke, hi Luke. It only took me a minute. So I start just improvising unpromptedly. Yeah, Clyde's been working on this project, the reload thing. I'm just like coming up with slogans for it, just saying things at random to fill the space. And they're just like, yeah, I can see the thing on the screen, clicking the reload thing, and I'm like, click it as much as you want or don't click it at all. I was like, I will fill this time. I will not stop talking. That is my guarantee to you right now. I don't care how long this takes. It's like back in the old days, a meeting like this would have taken a minimum of 7 hours to a week and a half. Like, that's just how slow it was. Like, none of this would have been possible. Like, even just a few years ago, we would have meetings like this, and it would take days to get through them because everything would just crop out. And I just went off, as I do. But then, somewhere in there, after promising, like, I'm not going to stop talking, I'm just like, you've just been sleeping all week and watching Arrested Development, watching the Community, so you had nothing in your head. There was this nothing in your head ready to go. Not a thing. Not a thing. So then I do what I do here and just drifted into and then finally it loaded, and I was like, that's what Clyde did, and then of course Corbin. But while I was doing my little time fill for however long it was, I have started. I don't have a whole lot of quotes up there. Every once in a while, as I was going through, I was tempted to like say quotes at you and Pat through the messenger. But then I'm just like, I don't know what episode you're on. You're probably going to just say, what are you talking about? Because a few times I've done that. Well, I know you're watching a thing I'm watching, and I'm like, boo, and you're like, what? Are you bringing tiger soup to our house? What do you mean? Like, no, the thing that you're not there yet, or you didn't remember. Never mind. But yeah, no, I started having dreams where I'm just like, I got to get this project done. Oh my god, assignments. Where's my class? And I was like, oh, thank God this show is almost over. I keep forgetting that how easily I take things into my dreams, and going to school in my dreams always sucks. So, whilst rambling on like a maniac, I can see people on the side typing things like, Curtis, and whatever. And maybe it was George, maybe it was Jeff. Sometimes I combine them into their own little Voltron monster anyway. In my head. But he was like, when's the stand-up tour? And I was like, every Tuesday at 8:30 on stream. And then I went and took my little Curtis stop motion thing where I'm staring at him and intensely the music plays. And I put that up there as like, here's an ad, like, stop by. So, hi Streamlabs if you're chilling out here. A lot of you would still be at work now. Which got me thinking. In the whole Home Alone Thanos-y scheme of things, you know, I genuinely, honestly, like two things, absolutely, you know, just teared up like 17 times at the grocery store. And today, honestly, genuinely had a thought of just like even though I have a job and whatever, like it's still going, I'm still just like, so what are we doing? Like, just to myself, you know, when you do that thing where you get up from your desk or from the living room and you walk to the kitchen or to the bathroom and you're just like, there's nowhere else to go here. It's just the kitchen and the bathroom. This is as far as my home goes. Where did I think I was going to go? I do not have a wardrobe that can take me to a land ruled by a lion. So, you know, you're standing there in your kitchen, wondering what up from down is. Is it all upside down? Is a coronavirus just a headless demigorgon floating through our veins? But in the weirditude of everything, yeah, just thinking like, so what? Like, do we start over? Like, are a lot of people are just gonna like with no choice whatsoever? Like, they just gotta start over. That's just the jam of the day. And other people, I'm just thinking like, did should I just go back to school and start something new? Like, is this like, who cares how old I am? Who cares what's going on up until now? Like, what if I just start over? Like, a lot of people have to start over. Like, let's take a different track. I mean, I don't want to do that. This is the kind of thing I want to do. But it is kind of a weird, like, a lot of people are just having to shift into another gear. That is very community thinking, especially getting towards the last episode when they're trying to plan the next season. And I think that's what I started doing, where I'm just like, what is the next season of this? What is season 7? Is there a season 7? Because I need a season 7. And yeah, I need that. Like, when I go to art club, I definitely winger those guys more often than not, whether they want it or not. And now I'm fully aware of it, now that you've spelled it out. But one of the things, like, when Jeff or George said, like, when's the stand-up tour, I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, I have a plan that I was working on where I was like, there was a place, and they were like, oh, we're going to do some stuff. Like, awesome. Well, if you already do show-type things here, I'd love to take it over. And they're like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, based on nothing at all. Like, well, you guys are up for it, and you don't even know me. So yeah, maybe I'll put something together. And so there's the place in town, or slightly out of town, I should say. Whatever. It's a small town. It's still only 4 minutes away. Where I was like, I want to do a live show of some kind, but I just haven't quite figured out why or what that is yet. And there was an art show at this place. Went there for the art show, where my art was, where I sold some art. Awesome day. And dude was playing music the whole time. And he was super funny, super interesting, and seemed to just have a wide repertoire of musical skills and abilities. And I've met him a few times. No idea what his name is. I met his wife, met his kid. Don't know what any of their names are. I'm a terrible person. So I was planning to... I did a show similar to this before, but I wanted to plan like a topic and a thing, and it's like by the end of it, it's going to mean something. And I just need to figure out that part. But somewhere in my notes, it's building to that. And I just had like all of these kind of schematics of like, this is what I want to do. First thing is like figure out this part, and then contact this guy and be like, are you down with this? Like, do you want to do a little show? I'm going to tell some stories, and you're going to try and play a music thing. You just noodle, just whatever that goes along with that. And sometimes I will make fun of you for that, but I will make sure to tell you that beforehand, because you are clearly a person who could destroy me with your arms. And I don't want to actually upset you, but like, seems like an awesome guy. I'm just like, oh, it'll be really fun. And it's like, I could definitely get people to go to this place, and I could probably afford it without losing money. I mean, not necessarily making money, but without losing money, because it may be for free, I don't know. So, that was one of the things that got me started on the start over thing, is like, there's a lot of places in town, but I just liked the people there, it felt good. But then, yeah, I don't know, like a week, 2 weeks ago, I saw a post online, it's just like, hey guys, like, this is it. You know, we have to shut down now because of what's going on. We legally can't do anything more, but that's it then. Like, if we're closed for one day, we can't afford to open another day. So we're done. Unless somebody wants to donate all of the supplies to run a restaurant, that's it. And we don't think we'll be opening back up again. Like, This is all very real. And again, not just because like it affected me in a way, but just the fact I'm like, man, oh man, like that's what got me on the mindset of that, where it's just like, oh man, so many people are going to have a story now that like their new origin story will be like, oh, I used to be this thing, and then the world kind of like crumbled in on itself in some way, shape, or form, that directly or indirectly shut me down. And now I run a happiness business where I go door to door delivering, I don't know, little dances. Like, once again, anything is possible because it is just like, well, once the economy is disabled, you can't just say, oh, well, if we just reinstitute all the things that were happening before, restabled, because like, no, a lot of those things were subsidized, a lot of those things were shaky as they were, and whatever. So it's just like a whole new way of life can pop back up out of this. And I mean, I realize I've lived in this world for way too many years not to learn that no, people mostly gravitate back to what they were doing before everything went nuts. But a lot of people, just from Instagram, you can see have already changed their life. They're already like, well, I'm just growing my own food now because might as well. Hey, I'm doing this now. I'm just like, yeah. Sadly, out of terrible things. I think I made this analogy before, / it's been definitely made by other people. But I distinctly remember having some bizarre tirade on the podcast about this. But out of a big old, you spread a pile of turd around, spread all, just ugh, poop everywhere. Out of that poop, something grows, even out of poop. And that's the worst thing. Aside from, again, everything that's happening. Everyone would much rather come home to a pile of poop right now than have a pandemic. Amanda Wren, what is all of this poop doing all over the kitchen? But Mama, don't you know that there's no COVID-19? I don't even know what that is. Exactly, Mama. It's okay that I spread poop all around the kitchen floor. You don't even know how worse it could be. Like, that would be great, but you can never get away with that. I'm sure there's gotta be 1,000 kids out there that are like young Jason Batemaning through their day, just like, oh my god, like you knocked the fridge over and crushed the cat. Like, yeah, but the sun isn't crashing into the earth, Mom. You got me there. This is not as bad as that. But now, precedent's kind of set in that it's just like, hey, remember when every other person in the world was a thing you had to avoid? Yeah. Everything's better than that. Remember the days with my old truck. He'd show me all around the world. Why can't I do anything other than the Golden Girls theme, and you would see. My front seat could seat 3, but it's just my pickup truck, my pickup and me. Showed me around the whole world. Driving by some old girls, honking our horn. With a beep beep and away we go. But my truck is out in the backyard, parked up on some blocks. 'Cause this COVID fella's nothing but can't come up with a rhyme that's not a swear. Family Matters. Damn it. Full House is usurping it. The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. And Sissel something. Is that all here? Days go by. Nope. It's something. 'Cause everywhere you look. No, yeah, that's definitely Full House. It's a rare condition in this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Until I get to living in something else here. I used to be a diehard, but now Steve Urkel's weird. Everywhere you look, there's a face for somebody who needs you. It's a spin-off show. It's a spin-off show from when Urkel was creeping. Cause this family matters and yours matters too. We're all here with Eddie Winslow. Harriet's like, hey, what's going on here? And one of our kids just fully disappeared. Remember that happened? It totally happened. We just dumped one kid now. She went into porn, did a lot of drugs. Then maybe she cleaned up. Hey, CTK. Oh, I hope your friend is better and your friend is good. When you golf and pick a forward. Cause it's a family now, it's Rachel's place. We'll replace it with Richie. He's got a fresher face. See you other kid. We don't even know your name. Oh yeah, I know. I can't get back. All I can hear is, yeah. The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. And still I get to living. Somebody tell me here. 'Cause this old place. Oh, Stefan is here. Stefan Urkel killed Stephen E. Nobody even cared. Had some adventures. Do you remember the one where he turned into Bruce Lee? That's crazy racist. Like you can't believe. Somebody probably got sued now. But if you threw a party and invited everyone you near, you would not see me, 'cause you invited too many effing people for me. Ooh. If a cool person went into the cool machine, I would surmise from a scientific machine sci-fi standpoint, ideally, realistically, cool person goes in and then somebody even cooler comes out. Like if it was just like, hey, a Clooney goes in, then like a Brad Pitt comes, or I don't even know. They just become just a glowing mass. Actually, no. A super cool person comes in. Dr. Manhattan comes out, blue, naked, knows everything in the world. That's how you make a Dr. Manhattan. Is you put a cool person into the cool machine. Or, yes, caught it. Oh, that Bill. Somewhere out there, there's a little cat named Bill. He's swinging his paws, and my lines he's trying to kill. He's trying this right here, these two dots, or this blob here, as I was drawing it. Bill of Bill and Ted the Cat fame, as we all know, and I talk about all the time. He's attacking my lines and sitting by the TV. But yeah, TV logic, though, in sitcom logic, especially 80s, 90s sitcom logic, if somebody's super cool went into the coolinating machine, it would just do the opposite, and they would come out as an Urkelized version of themselves. A Clooney comes in, and then he's all like, it's George Clooney pretending to not be cool. Is George Clooney still cool? I don't even know anymore. What day is it? But yeah, I would assume full-blown the opposite would happen. I'm pretty sure this didn't happen, but what would have been the greatest lesson to learn in that show, and I think that there was a situation where Laura did realize, like, oh man, like I should have been treating Steve better. Like I'm ready to marry this other version of him, essentially killing off somebody else. Where are Steve's family? They don't care. But yeah, an awesome like lesson learning version to me would be if, you know, Steve and Laura were like, you know, Laura's like, all right, I accept you now. I accept you. Like, this is amazing. And Steve was like, yeah. Do you not see how suave and cool I am right now? So here's the thing, Laura. Either you go through the machine as well and you get up to my par, or I'll take 2 steps forward, you takes 2 steps back, and I'm gonna MC Scat Cat my way into infamy. Like I'm the best now. I'm the best now. Watch me moonwalk. And then she's just like, oh my god, now I've really learned. And I think something similar to that did happen. Yeah, I watched every episode of Family Matters. There was only so many channels. Laura was borderline evil. Like in the beginning it was like it's just some people that are trying to maintain their life. Like we're just reasonable, normal people, and then this weirdo's across the street and he's making things nonsensy for us. And then after a while it just became like Steve is trying his best to have a connection to somebody, a family, anybody in the world. He's driving a weird car that's like saving money and teaching us about other countries. I don't know. He's doing your homework. He's helping you solve all of your problems. But yeah, he's annoying. All right? In the end, it mostly just became like no matter what Steve's doing and about these people that are like, you guys somehow got onto the main set of my TV show. I don't know why the cameras aren't over on my set where I live, and everything that I described sounds way better than this show where you're worried about Eddie's homework again. Who cares? Nobody's brought up the fact that one of your kids just went upstairs and never came back down. That's cool. Anyway, it's my show, guys. Stop getting in my way. It's like a... Anyway. TV shows don't age well. Oh, for sure. I often find myself doing stuff like that where I'm like, oh, God. I accidentally said what I really think. It's on the wrong layer. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Cut. Excuse me. All right. Everything's in the same place. The last thing that I thought I'd have to talk about this week is, spending a few days just thinking like, I really was just like, I got nothing to observe over here. I went to the grocery store. I saw Peter peeking out of a car. That's the most. And yes, they still managed to stretch that over an hour. But yeah, so somewhere in my head was just like, I don't have anything to talk about. And I know that's never stopped me before. My other idea was like, hey guys, throw out some random words and let's see which one generates a story in my head, because it's not that hard to make it go. So I went to sleep. Real sleep, not the sleeping all day Sunday thing. And yeah, just last night, had a dream where ended up just a bunch of interacted with a bunch of people, a bunch of stuff happened, and it thought like, oh, this is so great, like finally have some stuff to talk about, finally getting out into the world, blah 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 blah. And somewhere in the dream it must have been in the future where it's like everything's cool and we can do stuff again. So whatever it was like, oh yeah, I have to remember that, like, oh, that was really funny, that was really interesting, like gotta lock this in so they can talk about it later. Maybe I should stop and make notes. But before I stopped and made notes, the dream changed. So much so that even though everything before this point was locked in and just like real and memorable, like, yeah, that was weird. Oh, wow, I can't like that. I accidentally posted this thing online. Such a long name. Louise Gustaviorit, yeah. Missed it, disappeared. Thanks for the follow or sub. I missed what it was. I think it was a follow. Thanks for the follow, Louise. Louise? Louise. Louise. I don't know how to read. I'm drawing pictures. So it lasted long enough, like it was lodged in my head long enough for me to be disappointed that I'm like, oh, I can't remember that stuff. But what derailed the whole thing was trying actively to remember delightful anecdotes. There we go. And at a certain point, I get down like to the wharf. which doesn't exist here. I get down to the wharf. It's borderline similar to like where I grew up, but still not quite. And in my head, I'm like, oh, well, if I just go down through this wharf building here that's like already opened up, and I'll just like swoop down to the shore, and I'll just, see if the water's not too high, that I can just walk along the shore, and then I'll get over to like where my family is, I guess is where I was trying to get to. But again, like, gotta remember these stories. Gotta remember them. And I get over to like the doorway, which is just an open doorway, and then there's, I feel like some kind of like stairway type thing, or like balcony that goes around this like shack hanging over the water. And then some stairs that kind of go down. I'm like, oh, is it cool to go through? And I'm just kind of peeking over there. And as I peek out, it looks like I just caught the end of like something dipping back under the water. That was definitely huge. And I'm like, oh my God. And I look up and there's a guy. There's kind of like water, and there's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like a fishing type thing. It's for the seems like a bunch of like swamp type reeds, but we're out in salt water. It definitely wasn't that, but whatever. There's some sort of foliage, and this guy's like up on some kind of chair thing, again, making nets or something. He's doing some kind of fishery thing, fishing type of thing. And I'm like, what? And he like says something that he's from a distance that I can't see, and I've assigned to him a character trait that is just rambling old man. But I was like, is that a shark? Is there a shark down here now? Because there wasn't sharks down here before. Do we have a shark? And he's just like, oh, and I'm like, oh my God, it is a shark, because I understand his gibberish, I guess. And I'm like, well, I definitely have to like look and see, right? But I also don't want to be anywhere near the water right now. Like, this is, definitely a full fear inducer for me. So all of a sudden, up like fully up into the doorway, and I mean the water is at least 10, 12 feet away from like water level to the doorway. It's good and far enough away, and all of a sudden, like, I stepped away from the door. I was like, gotta take a picture, right? Like, I might not have much of a story, but if there's a shark swimming around, I have to take a picture. I'll just lean over and take a picture. Like, it's fine. On my way back over to the door, it fully comes up into the door, like just giant whale / great white size thing. Like, just full-blown CG Samuel L. Jackson eating monster. And it's just up in the doorway, like, oh, this thing could just like take down this shack if it wanted to. Even crazier though, it was kind of a zombie shark, so a lot of its skin is missing. There's like, you can see some bone. It's very Harvey Dent, Dark Knight faced. Chunks of its body are like torn out, but it's still fully articulated and good to go. And it like goes back down to the water, and it's still kind of just like floating around. Again, there's not enough room for it to be there, but I can see the whole thing. And there's like at least two, either, again, I'm concocting this with my own brain in dreamland, so it is probably some combination of like a stingray combined with those sucker fish that clean the bottom of your fish tank, combined with remores that latch onto sharks, but they're, themselves like 5-6 feet long, and they're just like hanging on, like, yeah, we're just gonna keep cleaning off this shark body while it's still alive. Like, we'll finish it off soon enough. I'm pretty sure some other fish were swimming around, picking away at it. Like, was that a dolphin? What's happening right now? So I'm just like, cool. If I do take a picture, I'll take it coming back up into the doorway again, but I'm going to stand over on the land. Other people are like, we got to check this out. And they're going out onto the balcony like, wow, I'm not stopping these people from walking to their death. I got to remember this to talk about it on the stream and the podcast. So shark comes up in the window once again, or up in the doorway again, just like, wow, it's so like just Jack Sparrow monster thing. And I was just like, that's nuts. Whatever. flash forward to 4 seconds later when I wake up. I'm just like, oh, thank God. Oh, that was a crazy dream. But in spite of that crazy dream, at least I've got a bunch of delightful anecdotes that I just have to remember from when from yesterday. Where did I go that I... No, I didn't go anywhere. I already know. Oh, nothing happened. I have nothing to talk about. I'm trying to remember something that didn't happen. So I might as well just remember the shark part, I guess. Alright, not going back to sleep now. Shark part. Good story. Now, as much as I know, you know, we all know, everyone says no to dreams. Can I tell you about the dream I had last night? No. It's going to be random and nonsense. Nobody wants to hear that. I can barely handle comedy about going to a community college. All right, let's make that terrifying. No, I just want a normal sleep, please. But anyway, yeah, I cut myself off again. But yeah, the odds are, I didn't look, but there's definitely somebody streaming, if not 50 people streaming, right? That are just like, welcome to my dream stream. What do? Every week, every day, every morning, 7 o'clock on the dot. As soon as I get out of bed, I roll over to the stream camera that's right next to the bed and I recount the dreams as best I can, as soon as I can before they float into my head. Fresh, right out of the dream oven, dreams. And now that I give that little spiel, yeah, I'm half tempted to wake up first thing in the morning and be like, hey guys, here's tonight's dream. Because they're always crazy, and, you know, that's what people like. That's what people do. Want to hear about your dreams? No thanks. Unless it's crazy too. Oh, you are totally a dream journaler. Now, other than... there have been a few times where I've had them so locked in that I write... I know we've talked about this before. I'll write a poem out of my weird dream. But I never just sit down and be like, let me write this down. This is gold. It's always, nope, I gotta forget this as soon as possible. And get on with my life. Are banana dreams all dreams about that involve bananas? No, you idiot. Banana dreams are the dreams of bananas. Well, every time a banana goes to sleep, it has magical adventures. Peeling, unpeeling, blue bananas, red bananas. There's so many things that a banana can dream about. Don't even get me started on pajamas. I will not. I will not. Sorry, not you. Are those words? B-A-N-A-N-A-S, bananas. Not bananas to eat, but Gwen Stefani bananas. That's what you gotta say. This shit is Gwen Stefani's. We've all swapped out the word bananas for Gwen Stefani. This crime wave in this city is straight up Gwen Stefani. See? Even Batman knows. Even Batman knows. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. But anyway, that's today's one-panel comic strip. what I was going to, I remembered the other thing that I was going to try to do, but I couldn't come up with it. I was going to try and force it out of you guys, but I was going to try and come up with some sort of just absolutely terrible, absurd, dumb, nonsense pun. Is that the word I'm looking for? Or play on words? Puns are just plays on words, right? And then Curtis will be saying or doing something like, huh? I don't know. Let's go with the banana thing. But like he's like Curtis wouldn't do this, the character or this one. He's like holding a shit. This is already we already used this banana shit thing before, but like he's holding a shit and he's like, "Hey, this is BANANAS." And but it's like shaped like a banana and Milo's just like, "What do you think you're disgusting Gary Larson over here?" Gary Larson's the right word, right? Where he would just do one panel things and then it would be a delightful pun. But anyway, that was going to be the thing of just like, you're no Gary Larson. And the rest is just something dumb. But not fecal based, alright? We've gone too far into that. It's been a long road. Getting from there to here. The Who's the Boss theme started seeping into my head instead of the Enterprise theme song. But the path you take and the path not taken, the choice is up to you, my friend. You might awaken to a brand new life around the bend. These aren't the right words, but it's the end of the night, my friend. That's tonight's comic. We're gonna do a COVID comic. We talked a lot about COVIDity. Regardless, hey, you clicked on me, so say something in my voice right now. Because oh, Angela, that's what we do. Like I said, like all week long. I work and then I'm just like, it's the end of the day. I'll try to work on something else and try not to go to bed. Because in that thing I mentioned before, where it is like, get up and I guess I'll walk to the kitchen. Hey, kitchen, what's up? Still the kitchen? Try not to eat all the junk food and all the food. Cool. Bathroom, you still cool? Don't really need to poop right now. Don't want to clean everything again. Everything seems pretty clean. All right. And then back down towards the living room, like, oh, hey, bedroom. How have you been in here? This is, what does it even feel like to lay in that? Oh, that feels awfully soft over there. I can't even. Maybe I should give that a try again. So it's really trying to make sure that I don't just take advantage of every time. I'm just like, everyone else is hunkered down, right? I'm going to bed. I'm going to go to bed and stare at the ceiling. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to sweat. I'm going to freak out. I'm going to lose my mind. And yeah, this eye, it's fine now. When I do my stream, I feel great. I feel great doing this stream. Even going for a walk, not that bad. Still, it's a gray area. But yes, since this thing has started, this eye like twitches all the time now. Like all the time? I mean, all the time. If I think about it, or if I'm just like, well, let's find out what's going on in the world. Click. Oh, my eye is twitching. Something fierce. Oh my god. I gotta go make some juice. But that's all I'm trying to do. If I can be everyone's umbrella, Ella, or at least their feel-good pill, I would like to be, the one you call Dr. Feelgood, the one that makes you feel all right. I'm the one they call Dr. Feelgood, and I'm gonna be your reconcile? Today's juice, some frozen kale. Ran out of frozen kale at the grocery store, so now I've got frozen nuggets of spinach to replace my kale. It's still good. Every thing of juice, or at least every blender full of juice, will probably have the same amount of spinach in it that you would put in a whole meal or soup for like 4 people, but that's okay. Some more lemon in it. Today it is somewhat more tart, sour, tart. I don't know the difference. Both the same. It's real sweet tarty. Then normal. But all the berries are in there. I did forget strawberries once again. And for some reason, I can't bring myself to buy bananas at the grocery store. I mean, they're not even close to ripe enough, but... Flax. Gotta have some flax in there. Bananas are real good, though. Bananas make a pretty good difference in a juice. I'm pretty sure I have some frozen something or other, but I usually take my bananas, bring them home, chop them up, de-peel them, put some lemon juice on them. I've said this before. If there's one thing that I do know, that, you know, you can't set a metal pole on fire unless you got a real hot fire. And if you want to preserve some bananas in the freezer, take the peels off, chop them up, squirt some lemon juice on them, throw them in a bag or a container, and they will stay lemony forever until they get freezer burnt and they're no good anymore. And if you make juice, it's great to just throw a handful of frozen bananas in your juice, and then when you blend it up, it's cold and delicious. Oh, God. Ooh, that banana bread looked good. It looked good. But without butter, everything needs all the butter. Everything needs all the butter. God knows. I should have gotten more potatoes, because I realized, you know what I love? Baked potatoes. They take like an hour, which I don't like, but man, oh man, if you got some bacon bits and cheese, some lactose-free cheese, which I do, and some butter, and you just fill it with butter, oh, it's like the legal way of eating spoonfuls of butter. No, it's potatoes. It's a potato. Everything's fine. Hey, I want to go to bed. End the thing right now. But yeah, I was starting to end this thing, like I said. This has been another Tuesday. Stay inside. Stay away from people. We all know the rules. And, you know, we're trying not to make gremlins out here. We're out here trying to just enjoy some Mogwai without making gremlins. Can we do that? Is that a good enough analogy for everyone? Don't get your COVID water. Don't feed your anybody COVID after midnight. And sunlight's good, though. Sunlight's good. Get a little bit of sunlight through your windows if you can. I don't know. I've got some vitamin D vitamins. Got some multivitamins. Echinacea. Just taking it all. Butterfly in the sky. See you next Tuesday, guys. We'll draw something. We'll try to sing. We'll make up theme songs. I can stream anytime. Also, I am here. There's no fear. Hello, Sarah. Don't. Ripley, sweetest angel. Hey, you're the sweetest angel in the whole world. You want to run the credits? And we'll say goodnight to everybody. And thank everyone for making me feel like an old Doogie Howser. Yeah? Alright. Awesome. Meow, 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 meow. Yes, I know. I'm too old and nobody knows what Doogie Howser is, but these guys do. Have a great night, you guys. Like I said, always keep everything clean. Feel free to be obscene within your own home. And as much as we all want to just go out into the street and fight the first 6 people we see, don't look for conspiracies. You'll just exhaust yourself and you'll end up in the same place where you started with nothing, and or you've set something on fire or threatened somebody, etc. And avoid Facebook. Just avoid it. Oh my God, it is such a pit of darkness and depression. I can't even get over how depressing it is. These games have gotten not fun. They're just, hey, let's play a game. List all the things you're terrified of. What? No. No, I think we're done with that stuff. All right. Be good, Elliot's. Be good. All my fingers in all of your hearts. Is this, can I? No, it'll just go behind you. Poking the eye? Hey, look at me. Take it. No. All right, credits. Thank you for hanging out, listening to me rant about drawing cats and pointing at things. I know that I can't sing. Hey! Ninja Turtles and homemade juice. That's what I produce. Oh, God. I need some sleep. Don't stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't stop. The stream will be soon. Any day now. Stop buttons here.